Well, CDPR apologized, but is that enough? Sub to this channel for your RPG news. Now, let's see what's in store for Cyberpunk 2077. Marcin Iwinksi, the co-founder of CDPR, released an apology video for what happened to Cyberpunk. To sum it up, he says himself and the board had final say of when the game was to be released. The devs have been getting so much hate when it wasn't their call. I'm glad he said this for the people that still don't understand that. The big issue came down to them really underestimating how hard it was going to be to make the PC game and then adjust it for the consoles. Cyberpunk isn't a flat sprawled out area. It's built vertically in a rather dense small area. The fact that they didn't really see this as more of a challenge and were still working on it right before the release is concerning. But hey, we move on. He also pointed out that COVID proved to be an obstacle in their video calls and emails, or info would get lost very easily. This one's hard to be mad about. The size of the team and everything coming down to the wire must have been a headache. Before we get into what I really want to talk about though, the launch of Cyberpunk sucked. We can all agree on that. It was a massive failure and CDPR are paying the price. The situation should be a warning for all the other game studios and devs now, which is why we're going to see more delays on games in the coming future. Nobody wants this backlash again, and hopefully now, games will be completely finished before release. So while it sucks for CDPR and Cyberpunk, it is kind of good for the whole industry. Now, the part that I really want to talk about and the details people are complaining about. CDPR is going to be pushing major game updates and patches to fix the bugs, core mechanics hopefully, and optimizations in the next few months. The first should be within 8 days of this video release. As you can see on this graph now, this means that the free DLCs and more importantly, the free next-gen console update are going to be pushed back even further. This is where most of the backlash I see coming from. People with PS5s and the Xbox Series X want their next-gen update. But honestly, did people really think CDPR was just going to release a next-gen graphic update before fixing their entire game? No way. They would never just be like, oh hey, our game's broken and it's unplayable on a lot of consoles, but here's your next-gen graphics, guys. And I get that people who dig at those consoles to play Cyberpunk on next-gen would be upset. I probably would be too. But at the end of the day, CDPR is trying to fix a lot of uphill battles right now, and getting the game working for most players has to be a priority. A bigger question is though, are the bugs and non-optimizations the real killers of this game? Beyond the bugs, there's more deeper issues here. One being the biggest is the AI. Can the AI be simply fixed in a couple patches? I don't know much about coding or making a game, but that sounds way more complicated than just patching it out. The next issue is the Super Police AI that teleports on you out of nowhere. That entire system needs to be fixed and reworked as well. That was one of the big selling points for me about the game, was this deep police system that would send bounty hunters after you and whatnot. It's really disappointing that none of that's there. Add that up with other cut content that's been going around Twitter and Reddit, and there seems to be a bigger issue here that isn't and wasn't being addressed in this video. I hope CDPR comments on these issues sooner rather than later, or at all. Maybe it's just some jumbled code that does need fixing and everything will be working as intended, but I highly doubt it. Randomly too, there were articles on websites about some multiplayer details being leaked from game files. Y'all gotta calm down on that. If anything has been delayed the most, it's gotta be the multiplayer. The co-op for Cyberpunk is most definitely the least of their concerns right now. Their entire single player game is a total mess. Don't give these sites clicks. Just my videos, please. Thanks. CDPR and Cyberpunk 2077 are going to be forever in history. I hope we see them recover. It would be a real shame for them in this game to end like this. But I feel like they can pull it off. With a lot of fixes and free DLCs this year, people will come back. And who knows, maybe we will finally see the game they promised in 2018. I personally haven't touched the game after I did one playthrough with the Pan Am ending. I couldn't see myself playing again right now for another ending or playthrough. I'm gonna wait it out for the updates and hopefully they fix the AI to have an overall better experience. But yeah guys, how do you feel about how CDPR is handling this fiasco? And are you mad about the next gen console update being delayed? Stick around for some more videos coming up. Don't forget to sub this channel for your RPG news. And until next time, remember, always take it to the edge. It's the Cyberpunk way.